begin transmission. On today's episode, our host dive into yet another non-Transformers comic. They should really change this series to humans fighting humans, with the occasional robot being featured. But I digress. If you insist on tuning into Incompetent Host, you're in the right spot. Sit back as I change the frequency.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today we are diving into the Skybound comics. I'm Onyx with my... Do you guys get a new polish?
Well, yes, I did. Thank you very much.
You weird. You both answered, and yet only one of you look clean.
Only one of us is clean?
Come on, Kilo.
Yeah,
I
the
told
clean
you
one.
you've got to try the new place, Kilo.
No. I am the one that's clean.
Onyx just needs to get his optics checked. It's fine.
Maybe. Do you mind introducing yourselves?
Hi, I'm Killobyte. I'm the clean one.
And I'm Clickbait, who's also the clean one.
Moving on with our comic discussion for today's episode, because we don't have all day to talk about how we clean ourselves, is Destro, Volume 1, The Enemy. And as always, spoiler warning, so if you haven't read it already, we highly recommend you go read the comics and come listen to the podcast. With that, Clickbait, do you mind giving us the facts? And Killobyte, can you give us the trivia and summary?
Absolutely. The number of comics we'll be reviewing today is 5. Issue 1 was released June 19th of 2024, with the final issue coming out October 16th of that same year. Our writer for the series is Dan Waters, with artists Andre Bresson, Andrea Milana, with colors by Adriano Lucas.
Time for some trivia. In issue 1, one of the attendees at the arms party makes a comment, "Boston is there," likely referring to the robotics company Boston Dynamics. That's cool. I don't know if they would want to be in a, fair for making weapons and stuff. But...
for illegal arms.
I hear they're already in that on Earth.
Oh.
Oh.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Issue 3 dives into Clan Destro backstory, which is tied to real-life events on Earth known as the Wars of the Three Kingdoms, or the British Civil Wars, marking one of the major turning points in British history. Cool.
Nice. I always love when actual history is involved, whether it's Cybertronian, Earth, Ian.
Yeah, it's always fun. See how the twists they add to those.
Yeah.
And our final trivia for today, with the conclusion of issue 5, we are led to believe that the entire G.I. Joe story and multiple tie-in miniseries all took place between the Transformers issue 2 through 12, which doesn't quite fit, as the story in the Transformers comics doesn't offer nearly as many time jumps as the G.I. Joe story had, unless someone invented some form of time travel.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Now for some summaries. Destro throws an arms expo at Darkland, but it's suddenly interrupted by an attack from a competitor? Another country? His own cousin? I don't know. Tune in and find out. And as always, this information has been taken from the wiki. And a special shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for all your support.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, times 10, times 2,
thank you.
times
infinity.
Another number, so we get all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shall we get ready?
We shall.
We start off with Destro using Energon from Cobra Commander to deploy his Batbots to conquer a small nation. However, he doesn't want to rely on his new friend, and attempts to throw an arms party to see if anyone else has Energon. Thoughts?
I mean, I'm not an expert on illegal weapons and arms dealing, but I feel like that thought process kind of tracks. If
Makes
you've
sense.
got something that you want to sell and make a lot of money off of, it does do you good to see how much money you can make off of it, like what your competition's going to be like.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, Destro is a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting and funny because they took over Darkland, and then suddenly they're throwing this secret arms party
was
that
really
nobody
funny.
else was supposed to know. It's like, okay, you just took over, nobody even noticed, and now you're throwing a black market weapons dealings party like right after.
It makes
like you
sense.
wanna
Rich
get caught.
people are the only ones that kind of avoid the casualties of war, and it shows in this issue.
Yeah, they did do a lot of like political commentary in this series, and I thought they handled a lot of it really well, while also keeping it very in light of the comics.
hmm
Agreed.
Then we get Mars, the company Destro commands, versus Extensive, which is another arms company, going to war. A war that showed if either loses, the other will still suffer. So they decide to make a business deal. First CEO to die loses their company.
I mean, if you die, don't you already lose your company because, you're dead?
It could be passed on to the cousin, Destro's cousin.
Yeah.
The figurehead?
Or somebody else
figurehead, yeah.
within the company.
Well, if he's a figurehead, then he's obviously not there for anything other than being a figurehead. Which
we all
totally
know
won't
it's
come
not
back
the
to
look.
kick him in the butt later. Yeah, that was an interesting choice. I don't know if that's the best way to run a business deal.
It was
I
an
think it's a
interesting deal.
great deal.
A great deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was funny first because they first attacked two major locations. One was a training ground for the mercenaries for Extensive, and then because they kind of have a mercenary group, and then Destro has the arms race, so they make more weaponry, and so then Extensive attacked his foundry with had all the robot guys, and then they're like, hey, let's cease fire, let's go meet here, let's try to be civil, and then they're like, you know what, I can nuke this place right now if you don't cooperate, and then you know what, let's do a little deal, whoever dies first takes the other's company. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's how you negotiate in this in this
mhm.
market. So
I
it was
Definitely
think
kind
I
of
think
interesting.
more CEOs and rich people should follow suit.
funny. Oh no.
So now that they've hired assassins to take the other out, first up is Destro versus the Extensive's assassin Chameleon and a few hovercrafts. Realizing he's heavily outnumbered, he flees and turns himself into the US government. What are your theories at this point?
It makes sense. From what I've read on the net, that makes sense.
That was very ominous.
Yeah. What have you been
I
reading?
mean, okay,
Clickbait?
so no, listen here to my logic. So obviously, this country, amongst others, consider themselves a relatively large power on Earth, and if not a relatively large power, a relatively large believer in seeking out that power. And it would make sense that whatever country he would seek, what do you call it? Asylum.
Leverage?
That was the word. Asylum. Seek asylum at. He would have leverage against, or at least a way to benefit himself and get himself out of said pickle, as I believe the Earthlings say it. So he immediately
What's a-
goes with, if you arrest me, you don't get your weapons. You don't get to feel like you're a big kid in the sandbox. Or cyber sandbox. And yeah,
Well,
that
it
kind of
would
went
be the real
exactly how I
sandbox,
expected
'cause
it
they're
to.
on Earth.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I've been reading.
About sandboxes. Cool.
You know it.
Is that the thing Ravage uses in here in this bar?
I think so. Is that what they
Yeah,
keep in the corner?
I don't know
I
if
think-
you want to be
don't know.
researching that. That's where
Yeah.
Ravage goes. But ignoring Ravage for a minute, I thought Chameleon was part of Extensive because they do have their color palette. Because in
Mhm.
in the G.I. Joe world, every faction has their color palettes, and that's where you know what figure goes with who.
Mhm.
So I thought Chameleon was part of the Extensive, and later on we find out they're not. But I thought that was an interesting kind of fight between them because Chameleon has like ENP powers. It seems like they had a little bit more of an advantage against Destro, and so I was intrigued to see how that was going to end.
That was fun. I enjoyed that interaction a lot. It took me a second. I had to kind of go back and look at the art to figure out what was happening for a second because the paneling wasn't super clear at first glance, but I did really like once I went back and kind of sorted through what was happening. It was a really fun gimmick.
Yeah. So Destro is quickly let out of U.S. prison for knowing too many secrets and goes to find Chameleon and learns about an AI that's been behind the attacks at his arms party. Did anyone see that one? I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that coming. It's especially because they did such a good way, like because when Destro gets attacked at his party, he says that it's Extensive because of the drones that attack him.
Mhm.
And then you see Chameleon with the red color scheme and the same drones, and you're like, okay, it's definitely connected. And then you find out that no, this is a different company. They just so happen to wear black and red as well. So you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So
In my brain, my theory was it was all Cobra Commander to try to get them to work together in the background that actually did it. But it was an AI, which it could have still been Cobra, because they did say it had some sort of technology that was advanced that they didn't quite understand.
Well, I think it's still Cobra, right? Because even Destro says it that Chameleon, the person that carries the name as Chameleon, says that they had an investor which didn't have a name, so it could be Cobra that invested in that, right? And I think it's implied that it was Cobra. So I think he has his hands in every company there and just trying to kind of get them all into his own branding.
He got several baskets and plenty of eggs to put them in.
Yeah.
What kind of eggs are they?
I think that's the. We're getting into the cyber weeds. This results in Destro showing back up at Mars, surprising the twins of Extensive and Cobra Commander, taking out a large portion of their army only to offer peace and to join under the banner of Cobra for world peace. I say in quotations as if you can see me.
I can see. I'm sitting right across the bar from you.
I'm talking to listeners.
Oh, listeners, in case you're wondering, Onyx is making air quotations when he says world peace. They're not the listeners now.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That fight was a little it was cool. Like he was showing off, his superior tactical brain and like how because they all thought he died, and then he showed up, got back with a brand new gadgets, and now it's working with this AI and Chameleon. So that was very fun. I just didn't quite like the twins from Extensive, like the CEOs, because they have the weird thing where one feels the pain of the other. And
the worst superpower. Awkward. The worst superpower.
Which we've gotten this far into it, and the twins have been in multiple fights. Multiple. And they only just in this miniseries addressed it.
I don't think we've seen them in other fights.
Yes, we have. They were on the motorbikes in the Duke comics. They were in that fight.
You're right. They didn't really address it at that point.
I don't know. It's also there's also like same face syndrome, because I know these characters are twins, but if you look at Destro's cousin, it almost looks like the same as the cousin.
The same person, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like almost like triplets. So then you're like, wait, who's who?
I agree. So the next step, obviously, is Destro destroys the AI, and Cobra seeing something from Cybertron falling from the atmosphere, and that's it.
To be fair, my initial thought of the quote-unquote AI when they first started talking about Project Overkill was that it was like some Cybertronian that was up there, and they had quote-unquote thought it was an AI that could learn and evolve and stuff like that, like with the other bots that have kind of been used as assets for at least for a little while until they become sentient. I thought it was another Cybertronian, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're doing this again. And then they were like, oh, it's an AI, actually, because they blew it up, or at least we think they blew it up. But now also something Cybertronian is falling from the sky, and we're not sure what it is. I don't even have any speculations on what it be.
Well, I think based on the trivia, right, this is supposed to be Volume 12, and I think that's when Shockwave brought Cybertron. So this could be a piece from the explosion that Optimus triggered.
Or Optimus
that's
himself,
coming
right?
Oh, I was going to say, or
Yeah.
Optimus, yeah.
Well, Optimus was being saved by the buggy. I forgot his name.
Beachcomber.
No.
Oh, the Silver
Beachcomber.
Surfer?
The Silver Surfer. So he was being saved by Beachcomber. So I don't think it's Optimus Prime, but it's probably a piece from Cybertron. It'll probably have
Cliff Jumper!
technology,
Cliff
and it could
Jumper
be-
fell!
Yeah, it could be Cliff Jumper in there. Maybe Alita, because we don't see Alita fall either. So she could
I
either
think
still be
Alita
on
was still
Cybertron,
on
could be in this.
Cybertron.
She was on
Yeah.
Cybertron, yeah.
So yeah.
Lots of speculation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah,
That's Destro. There's lots of good one-liners in this volume. I recommend
There are.
reading them. I'm sure we're about to dive into a few of them here from Clickbait's quick quotes. But is there anything else that we want to talk about this volume before we go into that section?
I have one little thing, and it's kind of funny because Destro and Chameleon end up together, and then Destro
Oh my gosh, yes.
Destro destroys the AI with a nuke because he says, "I like collecting nukes," and I'm like, okay, that's a weird
It was a weird flex.
collectible. Yeah, so he
We all
destroys
have our
it.
hobbies.
He's just supposed to be collecting nuclear warheads.
Yeah, but I like at the
Some more
end.
dangerous than others.
Cobra
Mhm.
Commander's looking at the TVs and the Cybertronian piece that's
Don't
falling.
say the quote, because that's a quick quote.
Well, it's too late now. It's my quick
don't
quote.
tell them what to do. Yeah. Welcome to
But
Kilobyte's Quick Quote Corner.
Louise.
I,
I'm
I
still
just
gonna
like
say it.
that
We're
the
just
little
gonna do it
minion
twice.
for Cobra Commander says like he acted as predicted. He did launch a nuclear arms to impress a woman, so I thought that was kind of funny.
That is pretty funny. Yeah.
Freaking Kilo.
Hey,
All right.
it's my
Well,
quote.
we don't have to
man.
do that one. We don't have to do
No,
that
we're,
one.
we're still doing
Nope.
that one. We're
Nope.
still doing that one.
Nope. Editor, remove that. Anyway,
Editor's not going to.
Clickbait,
Anyways,
would you like to
for
take
other
the
notes-
floor for
No,
two
yes.
quick quotes?
No, I have another point. I didn't get to say my point because Kilo
Oh,
stole
okay.
my quick quotes.
Okay. All right.
That's what. As someone who is not familiar with G.I. Joe lore or the characters and their lore, etc., it was really fun being able to kind of have the Destro lore spelled out for us. Before they went into that, I was literally thinking to myself, why just the helmet? Because I remember before we got into these comics thinking that he was just metal. He was a metal person, as one does. And so I was surprised when, like, in the middle of the first issue, he just shows up with just it's not really a helmet, but like the metal helmet that just cuts off at his neck. And I was like, what the heck? Why is it just that? So it was really fun to kind of get to learn his lore. He might be a little crazy, though, thinking that these statues are talking to him. But crazier things have happened in this issue. And I did like Chameleon. It was fun that she was I know she wasn't a countess, but that's what my processor has decided to refer to her as.
Oh, what?
Like a person of status. I don't remember her title, but my brain...
She's the
Assassin?
CEO
process
of a
became-
different company and an assassin, so...
Right, the CEO of a different company, but she was, like, obviously someone of high status. I know she's not, like, the
okay.
Baroness or anything, but she was another individual of high status that was a member
Must have
of
got bored.
high-profile society.
Must have got bored.
Apparently, and she just has an
Remember,
EMP
listeners,
inside
never
of her.
get bored.
Never get bored.
All right, Clickbait, take us to the quick quote.
Anyways, moving on to quick quotes. Our first quick quote is, I believe, in issue number 3 between Destro and Chameleon. And Chameleon says, just die. And Destro goes, I am James McCullen Destro of the Destro Clan. This is where my ancestors slumber. I will not fall before them and shame their spectral eyes. And Chameleon just comes back with, cool story. It was really funny because he came out with this long-winded sentence that was all fancy, and she's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then for our second quick quote, I believe it comes from issue number 4, and it is also between Chameleon and Destro. And Chameleon says, it's wonderful to see you. I heard you were dead. And Destro responds with, I was, but hell couldn't afford my consultation fee, so I came back. I thought that was really funny.
That was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then our third quick quote, Killobyte kind of already said, but I'm going to say it again for accuracy purposes to ensure it was accurate and exact. And it's the Cobra soldier at the end, and he's radioing back into Cobra Commander. And he says, we've been monitoring Destro's activities as ordered. He acted as you predicted. He did indeed launch nuclear armaments to impress a woman. I just thought that one was really funny. And obviously Kilo did too, because we have the same quote, so yay.
Yeah. That would be
Ooh.
the same thing if I had nukes.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah,
No,
it's the way to go. Gotta,
No.
I wouldn't
guys don't look at explosions,
I wouldn't
but they
kill
do for a
anybody
woman.
with them, but I would throw them in
Mhm.
the air.
Mhm.
Okay, but the radiation kills people.
Not if you're rich. Anyway,
That kills
Clickbait.
people, Kilo.
No. Oh no.
Kilo. 3.5? It was good. It was funny. I had a lot of 4. 4 is my final answer. A lot of quippy one-liners, which made it a 4. I don't know how much I read it again, but for the story and what it conveyed, it was fun. 4.
I would give it a 3. It was entertaining. Like you got a lot of lore dumps, and you got to know more about this character and kind of their backstories and their goals and what they're trying to achieve. But it was a little bit slow for me. Like not much was happening, even though there is action. It just kind of felt like it was a lot of like talking about making money and my company and your CEO, and if we fight together, and then you die, I will take your company. It was just kind of not super interesting for me, but I think it's an okay read. So a 3.
yeah, I'm gonna split the difference and go 3.5. I thought the action scenes, which there are a lot in these G.I. Joe comics, were pretty good. The one-liners were fun and exciting. The plot, I feel like the AI part came out of nowhere. I feel like it didn't really serve anything. It didn't do anything. Like if you removed that plot point and just said it was any sort of satellite or any sort of other company, the plot would still work. So that to me makes it a little, that cuts it off a little bit. Outside of that, I think it was good. Again, would I read these ones again? Not a huge G.I. Joe fan, but if you are, I think you would. 3.5. But listeners, what did you think of these comics? How many raw stars would you give it? Let us know by leaving a comment below. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at swervesbarpodcast@gmail.com. That's SWERVESBAR podcast@gmail.com. All right, moving on to toys. Any toys you guys want to talk about? Picking on no one in particular. Killobyte.
Please. What?
Silence is golden.
I even had my hand raised.
I had it too, but I'm shorter, so you didn't see me.
Sure.
I am going to talk about Age of the Prime Quintus Prime. I think he's pretty neat. I do like his coloring and it's kind of scary having the clear parts on him based of previous figurines, but it looks like he's holding up. I do like his spaceship. It kind of reminds me, it's like a slimmer version of the one from War Stars when they go underwater, and it has like that weird rotation thing. So it's cool.
That's
I know what you're talking about.
The Wrath of Khan movie, right?
Yes, and they go underwater and they fight that big fish. Yes, it looks almost like that.
Yeah,
but
there's always a bigger fish.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So, but I like him. I think he's cool, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. So another Prime down.
I will stick with the themes and talk about Age of the Prime, Onyx Prime. Wow. Is it narcissistic to talk about a toy about myself? Maybe, but that's not either here or there. I think it's a wonderful figure. The Beast Mode head, I think, needs a little bit more work, but that's what upgrade kits are for, and I'm very much wanting the upgrade kits for basically all these primes, because all of them are pretty good bangers. It's unfortunate a lot of the upgrade kits cost the same amount as the figure, so it's almost like you're paying for the figure twice, but I might still do it. Anyway, clickbait.
I will not be talking about Age of the Primes. I will instead be talking about one of my finds that I got at one of the conventions on Earth. I've been looking for this figure for quite some time. I had initially passed on it when I saw it for the very first time. I chose to get a different one, and then found it again. I'm so excited. It is the Arms Micron Transformers Prime Silas Breakdown, Arms Micron 24. And I am so excited to finally get my hands on this boy. I don't know if I'm planning on taking him out of the box or not, because right now he's in his little box. But he has a little praying mantis mini-con that he comes with, and obviously he's got his eye that's been replaced by Mech and turn him into Silas Breakdown, and he's so cool. I'm so excited about it. He's got chrome and a whole sticker packet I get to put on. I'm so excited to have him.
Nice. Are you ready for Void Rivals Volume 3?
You know it.
If you've enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. If you want to help out the show even further, we have started a Patreon. All the proceeds will go to supporting the show and keeping the lights on. Of course, we have other forms and tiers that offer gratitude, such as 3D files, entry to our Discord channel, where you can get access to our comic review videos a week before their public release. We also started a Redbubble where we have all kinds of merch for sale, ranging from pillows, stickers, shower curtains. You can also get our logo. Wow, you can also get our logo, secret art, and many other fun designs and all kinds of apparel. If you want our Transformer D&D book, it is on our Ko-Fi in the links below. And as always, we hope you are all staying safe out there. Thank you so much for listening. Till all are one.
Till all are one.
Till all are one.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Swerve Bar Podcast. You can find more on our link tree below. If you're interested in more content, try checking out the spin-off D&D series, Transform and Roll Out. Season 4, titled Reforged, is now available. Let's tune into a preview now.
I'd like to give him a little shake And then I'm gonna chuck him back in the water.
Okay. It makes a lot of thud and splash as it hits the water.
I glare at the little body of water. And I stick my tongue out.
I got robbed by cyber weasels.
Rob! Okay, well now we have to get rid.
He has the money!
I appreciate your contribution. Well done. Aqua was your name?
Aqua.
Fine. There is the table. Here are the patients. He's gonna activate the chainsaw on his arm. And here the surgeon.
DM.
Yes, my child.
Oh my god.
Tune into their YouTube channel for bonus content, such as video games containing funny comments, convention videos, and trendy shorts. Again, their links will be provided below. And if you're so inclined, check out their Redbubble, where you can get pins, t-shirts, and more. Or subscribe to their Patreon to access their Discord and get early access to content before it's publicly released. Till all are one. End transmission.